Good evening. We ask you please remain standing and remove your hats for the singing of the National Anthem. Tonight, the National Anthem will be sung by a trio of Northbridge High School iron harmonics under the direction of Mr. Derek Wielsma.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Nice work, Owen. Good evening and welcome to the 153rd commencement of Northbridge High School. Tonight's graduation ceremony has finally arrived. To ensure that everyone in attendance has a safe and memorable experience, please adhere to our safety protocols posted throughout the venue. Masks are required to be worn throughout the ceremony. Please practice safe social distancing. All of our chairs tonight are 6 feet apart. Several hand sanitizing stations are set up throughout the venue. Restrooms are located inside the building outside of the field house. And at the completion of tonight's ceremony, all graduates will process to the parking lot where they will meet their families. We ask that families exit in an orderly fashion if possible. This evening's graduation is being live streamed on YouTube by our very own Mrs. Deb Herbert. It will be televised over our local cable access throughout the summer. We want to thank Mr. Wielsma, along with the members of the Enharmonics, our concert band. We already heard them tonight. Thank you very much for being here and part of this. We are thrilled that you are here. A photo will be taken of each student receiving his or her diploma, compliments of Cass and Foster Photography Studio, with one photo being purchased for each student by the class of 2020. We ask that in honor of our graduates, you remain seated so that parents, family, and friends taking pictures or video will have an unobstructed photo opportunity for their son or daughter. At this time, we also ask that you check your cell phone so the only music we hear will be from our band and chorus. Parents, family, and friends of the class of 2020, thank you for giving us the opportunity to get to know each and every member of this class throughout these past 4 years at Northbridge High School. We gratefully acknowledge the dedication of the Northbridge School Committee, faculty, and staff who have worked tirelessly on behalf of our students and the community of Northbridge for its continued support of our schools. We also thank families, organizations, and individual donors for their generous financial contributions throughout the awarding of local scholarships, awards, and grants. There are over $50,000 in local scholarships awarded to this graduating class of 2020. A full listing of the awards and scholarships is in your handout tonight. A special thank you to the Operation Graduation Committee, in particular the executive board members of Doreen Mulcasion, Tessa Schofer, Sarah Visbeck, Minnie Batista, along with many others. Thank you for your support and generosity to our seniors throughout the entire year. It is now my privilege to present to you the official greeter for this evening, the class of 2020 salutatorian. The salutatorian is ranked second in the class. Please welcome Ethan Phillips.
Thank you, Mr. McCormick. Good evening, class. As we reflect upon the events of the last few years, there are many ways they could be characterized. Fantastic at times, difficult at others, and unexceptional at more still. Yet ultimately, those years have already passed us. We can no longer interact with them. But rather than dwelling on the past, we'll take what we've learned and learn to guide us through an uncertain future. Despite the comfort and security that routine brings, change is not only inevitable, but necessary. It is far too easy to believe that the world will always be the way it is now. These past few months have shown us not only how rapidly the world can change, but that the world has become a smaller place. Things that can manifest on the other side of the world can affect us rapidly and alter our whole way of life. The ripple effect of COVID-19 and the necessary adaptations made to everyday life illustrate how crucial it is to accept change. While the implications of COVID-19 can be seen on a global scale, they also resonate on a personal level. Many other changes happen every day that may not be as noticeable. We are not the same people as we were when we first walked through those doors. Consequently, we must come to accept that our world is neither constant nor inflexible, and embrace it. In recognizing that change is inevitable, we must accept that we can and must adapt to it. Yet far too often we fail to recognize that we can adapt. Just because someone struggled in math does not mean they will always struggle in math. We too often believe that our limitations are constant and fixed. But by understanding that these limitations are not fixed, we can more easily adapt to the changes in our lives. Even math, known for its rigidity, is only defined as you want it to be. Thus, we, as individuals, must be open to the idea of change, open to the idea of adapting. Nevertheless, adaptation cannot manifest from nothing. Changes that are needed are not always apparent. There will always be trial and error. However, the willingness to try new approaches will always lead to meaningful progress. The crux is to understand what triumphs we've attained and what blunders we've made, and to learn from them. It is that which makes this point in our lives pivotal. It is an opportune time for us to not only look to the past, but also to the future. We should understand how we achieved our successes, while recognizing that there is always more to learn from our failures. Adaptation is derived from a greater understanding of the past. No matter what path we choose in life, personally and professionally, we will encounter change. Our success will not only be a result of our hard work, but our willingness to adapt. The winds of change may blow the ship off course, but the ability to adapt will provide us with a rudder to help us navigate whatever storm the future brings. I welcome you all to the 153rd commencement ceremony of Northbridge High School.
What? Who was that? Thank you, Ethan. Please welcome to the podium our Superintendent of Schools, Ms. Amy McKinstry.
Good evening, everyone. It is such an honor and a relief to be standing here this evening to finally recognize the accomplishments of the Northbridge High School class of 2020. I have felt a special connection to this particular class since the first year I started working in Northbridge, which was when you were all in 7th grade. One, because I used to go to the middle school at least twice a week to help with discipline, mostly for the 7th graders. And two, because I had the luck and privilege to be able to teach ELA to some of you students for a couple of months while your teacher was out. I find it fitting to mention this today because during that time, we read The Outsiders by S.E. Hinton. And as most of you know, the novel centers around a group of young people who all had different but very considerable struggles to overcome in their lives. We had a lot of discussion around how we felt connected to the characters and could relate to what they were going through, and how they were all heroes in their own right. This year, class of 2020, it has been you that have had to overcome some considerable struggles. Many of you were affected at the beginning of the school year by the limitations on outdoor activities because of the EEE bans, before and after certain hours of the day, and it was not ideal for our sports teams or our marching band or even our community members who just wanted to walk around the track at night. But you did what you needed to do, and you made the best of a difficult situation, and you all exceeded expectations in your chosen activities, despite the inconveniences and obstacles caused by the EEE. But this was just a small taste of the challenges this school year would bring to you. And just when things were getting back to normal, and you thought you were in the clear and could enjoy the rest of your school year and all the wonderful events and activities that going along with being a senior brings, COVID hit and turned your world and ours upside down. It has been heart-wrenching as a superintendent to watch you lose so many of those opportunities and events, and even time with your classmates and teachers, the things that make being a senior one of the most exciting and special time of your lives. The loss that has been endured by the senior class has left us all feeling helpless and sad, and wishing we could have done more for you, wishing the virus would suddenly disappear and it would all be a bad dream. But that is not the reality that you have faced or that we have faced. Instead, you experienced a spring plagued by academic frustration, emotional chaos, and physical separation from friends and loved ones. The exact opposite of what you should have had, the exact opposite of what you so rightly deserved. But here you all are tonight, looking beautiful and handsome in your caps and gowns, sharing this precious experience with your families and friends, and you have not only proven that you can survive anything, but you have thrived. You have taken on the challenges placed upon you by this wretched pandemic, and you have literally smashed it. We are all so proud of each and every one of the accomplishments and successes of this class that each of you has achieved individually and as a whole, despite all of the obstacles that you have faced this year. And in this story, your story, you are all heroes in your own right. So congratulations to you all, and best wishes for a beautiful future.
Thank you, Amy. And now some reflections from the class of 2020 President, Adam Briand.
Good evening, classmates and families. Thank you for all attending the 153rd commencement for the Northbridge High School class of 2020, or as it will be more popularly known as, the first commencement in the Northbridge High School parking lot. Before I begin my speech, I would like to extend my sincerest gratitude to our class advisors, Mr. Palucha and Ms. Goodrich, along with our administration consisting of Mr. McCormick, Mr. Tracy, Mr. Suzianka, and our superintendent, Ms. McKinstry, for arranging the graduation ceremony this evening. Also, I would like to send a big thank you to the parents of the class of 2020, that's all you guys in the back, for arranging various events and activities over the years, most recently being the parade through town, creation of lawn signs for all senior families, and organizing the Indian Ranch Cookout. Give yourselves a big round of applause. When I was thinking about what to say tonight before all of you, I decided to look at some speeches from previous years and try and draw some sort of inspiration from them. However, I realize that this is not your ordinary graduation. We aren't like every other class. We are the class of 2020. We are the ones that made history. March 12th, a day that many of us will never forget, when we unknowingly left our high school for the last time. None of us thought that our senior year would end the way that it has, the year that was supposed to hold so much for us. Luckily, tonight, we are all able to celebrate the culmination of our education as one. During these past 4 years, we all embarked on different paths throughout high school, whether it was prioritizing academics, joining a sports team, performing in the illustrious drama productions, joining the Saga Club, traveling to conferences with student council, or playing in concerts with the band. We are all present in this moment as a unified class. However, despite being here right now, many of us choose to focus on the glory days of the past reminiscing about what we once had, I urge each and every one of you to cherish this very moment right now and savor what we have accomplished. They say these are supposed to be the best days of our lives, but instead of living them to the best that we physically can, we are still fixated on how our lives abruptly changed. To quote the famous Mahatma Gandhi, "The future depends on what we do in the present." So, class of 2020, focus on the moment right now so you can hopefully change the future for the better. As your president, I would like to commend all of you for remaining resilient and unwavered in the midst of these troubling times. Instead of letting this quarantine lifestyle get the better of us, we all decided to celebrate our achievements and communicate our ideas from our homes or at a socially acceptable distance. We adapted to a way of life we have never experienced. We became creative by using our technology for various events, such as class night, Google Hangouts, and Zoom calls. We spent our time the best that we could, but most of us, at some point in these last couple months, eventually accepted the fact that our long-awaited senior year was over and broke down. This meant that we could no longer listen to Mrs. Bedard make someone take one last lap around the track, hear Mr. Palucha or Mr. Solo singing their hearts out to Taylor Swift after school, watch Mr. Suzienka ask someone, "Hey, where are you supposed to be?" Pretty good. Thank you. Appreciate that. Or hear Rhonda remind us to grab our fruit in the lunch line. No one said this would be easy. No one said this would be enjoyable. No one said this pandemic could make us stronger. But guess what? It has. We will always be the class of 2020, the class that always faced challenges and came out on top. I am honored to be a part of this class and cannot be more proud of what we have done together. As I close my remarks here this evening, I'm reminded of a powerful speech I once heard from a neighbor of mine. It goes something like this. So many people have helped me come to this night. Some of you are here. Some of you are far away. Some are even in heaven. All of us have special ones who have loved us into being. Would you just take along with me 10 seconds to think of the people who have helped you become who you are, those who have cared about you and wanted what was best for you in life? Close your eyes and give 10 seconds of silence. I'll watch the time. Whom you've been thinking about, how pleased they must be to know the difference you feel they have made in your life. They are the kind of people you want to have in your life. They have inspired you and given you your strength to pursue all you hope to do in the future. The time is now, class of 2020. Never let anyone deter you from your goals or passions in life. Keep your head up and always remain positive. Thank you, class of 2020, for all the fun and interesting memories we have made over the past 12 years with each other. I know that the future holds something bright for each and every one of us. Thank you.
Thank you, Adam. That's a very good Mr. Seuss, by the way. At this time, please welcome 4 senior members of the concert choir, Kelly Heffernan, Hetty Tossin, Maggie Pullman, and Chloe Fabata, who are invited to come forward to perform the senior song, "I'll Always Remember You."
Always knew this day would come. We'd be standing one by one with our future in our hands. So many dreams, so many plans. Always knew after all these years there'd be laughter, there'd be tears. Never thought I'd walk away. with so much joy but so much pain, and it's so hard to say goodbye. But yesterday's gone, we gotta keep moving on. I'm so thankful for the moments, so glad I got to know you. The times that we had, I'll keep like a photograph and hold you in my heart forever. I'll always remember you. Another chapter in the book. Can't go back, but you can look. And there we are on every page. Memories I'll always save. Up ahead on the open doors. Who knows what we're heading towards. I wish you love, I wish you luck. For you the world just opens up. But it's so hard to say goodbye. Yesterday's gone, we gotta keep moving on. I'm so thankful for the moments, so glad I got to know you. The times that we had, I'll keep like a photograph and hold you in my heart forever. I'll always remember you. Every day that we had, all the good and the bad, I'll keep them here inside. All the times that we shared, every place, everywhere, you touched my life. Yeah, one day we'll look back, we'll smile and we'll laugh, but right now we just cry, 'cause it's so hard to say goodbye. Yesterday's gone, we gotta keep moving on. I'm so thankful for the moments, so glad I got to know you. The times that we had, I'll keep like a photograph and hold you in my heart forever. I'll always remember you.
Great job, girls. Medals. The gold medal, established in 1895, is the highest academic honor given by Northbridge High School to a member of the graduating class. It was first awarded in 1897 to Josephine Clark. A student must have earned 105 credits of A- or above with no grade lower than a B-. Students will receive a gold medal and a gold tassel. When I call your name up, please go see Ms. McKinstry to receive your gold medal. This year's recipients are number 601, Haley Banis. Number 602, Cody Batista. Number 603, Haley Bober. Number 604, Adam Briand. Number 605, Samantha Schrabis. Number 606, Rianne Cooney. Number 607, Chloe Fabata. Number 608, Noel Haas. Number 609, Kelly Heffernan. Number 610, Lauren Johnson. Number 611, Alessia Kirachuk. Number 612, Marissa McComsky. Number 613, Emily O'Bannon. Number 614, Ethan Phillips. Number 615, Sarah Paulman. And number 617, Grace Vera. Let's have one more nice round of applause for our gold medal recipients. Northbridge has a proud history of military participation and accomplishments. This year, we have one graduate who will be entering the Marine Corps. Please join me in a round of applause as we recognize Trevor Hoffman, who is enlisting the Marines this December. Congratulations, best of luck to you, Trevor. At this time, I'd like to introduce the class valedictorian. The valedictorian is ranked first in the class. Please welcome the class of 2020 valedictorian, Chloe Fabata, to the podium.
Hello, fellow graduates. It's amazing to finally be able to see you all in person. I never thought that this day would come, and that's mainly due to the fact that if you'd asked me back in April, I really didn't think this day would ever come. But now that it's here, I have to say, it's a little embarrassing that we all showed up in the same outfit. But jokes aside, I'm honored and I'm extremely humbled to be standing in front of you all today. In preparation for this very moment, I sifted the internet for advice on writing as well as on giving speeches. And the one common thread that I found through numerous internet articles was that at all costs, I should avoid using cliches. Now, it may come as a bit of a surprise to you that a goody two-shoes like me would completely disregard most advice that I receive. I'm sure my family can attest to it. For example, as a freshman, I was told to become active in a few clubs, but not enough to stress myself out. I just completely ignored that advice, and I just joined them all. Many of my teachers assigned me projects with the key phrase, this is not something you can do the night before. And instead of heeding the warning, most of the times I just said challenge accepted. Sorry, guys. So naturally, I intend on completely ignoring Google's advice, and I will be instead utilizing one of the most overdone cliches on the planet. It's about the journey and not the destination. So I've spent the past 4 years of high school dreaming of this day, of senior week, our class trip, our senior prom, the works. But in dreaming so much of the future, I failed to appreciate the present. I rushed through the mundane days at NHS when all we had to look forward to was the weekend. I rushed through every drill in softball, waiting till the next game. Sorry, Mr. Mills. And I rushed through, it seems, most of high school, eager to just receive one of those diplomas. But as I found myself stuck at home for weeks and weeks on end this year, there was one common theme, that I longed to walk those very halls one last time. I longed for nothing more than to go out in that maroon and white jersey one last time. I longed to hear Warzeka's laugh just bellowing down the halls. And crazily enough, I even missed that feeling of when I was slightly out of breath walking up the 3 flights of stairs up to the 3rd floor. But regardless, I know that most of you have shared this experience with me. Along my own personal journey at NHS, I must say that I've learned so much from you all. In fact, I'd be willing to bet that I learned more from the very people alongside me than from anything that I learned inside a textbook. And some of that wisdom I'd like to share now. Cassidy Guys taught me how to persevere. Despite the many times that I canceled plans on her for homework, she persisted and would say, "Chloe, I'm coming over in 10 minutes, and you can't say no." And sure enough, 10 minutes later, the Dodge was in my driveway. Ethan Phillips taught me the importance of having a natural curiosity to learn. He taught himself calculus in the course of a summer for no other incentive than to broaden his own mind. And I think pretty much every student in AP Calc can agree that Ethan was more of our tutor than he was our peer. Emily O'Bannon taught me that sometimes the most magic happens behind the scenes. Kelly Heffernan and Hattie Tossin taught me that being a drama queen, it's not necessarily a bad thing. Cora Gothier gave me a new appreciation for the color black. Haley Bober taught me that you should never get distracted playing catch, or else you might just end up with a broken nose. And despite us being the first senior class in recent years to lose the powder puff game, I now know what a hook and ladder is, thanks to Jake Szynski, Owen Hogan, Luke McNeil, and Nick Cuba. I didn't think morning people actually existed until I heard Bart's "Good morning, Northbridge High School" over the intercom, but now I do. And lastly, before befriending Jacob Hashi, I had no idea that Hawaiian shirts came in so many styles and colors. And the list continues. In fact, I don't have enough time to list everything I've learned, but it's true that along the way these past 4 years, we've all undoubtedly picked up some form of knowledge from each other. Before I end, I'd like to acknowledge the hard work of the teachers and the administrators of NHS, who have all had a hand in helping us get to this point today. I'd like to thank my parents for their continuous and unwavering support as well. My mom helped me study at the dining room table for whatever quiz or test I had the next day, and I know she hated all those flashcards, but I appreciate the help. My dad, thank you for making me laugh and for keeping the most accurate stats of every high school game that I have ever played in my whole entire high school career. And please, graduates, thank whoever got you here, the people who are sitting behind you. For some, it was one person, and for others, it was quite literally a whole entire village. But regardless, make sure to thank them because we've all been supported immensely along our academic journeys. And of course, my last thank you must go out to all of you. Thank you for experiencing everything with me over these last 13 years. From writing our first sentences, to our first field trips, to our first varsity games, our first school dances, and just about everything in between. You see, the diplomas we receive today have always been the destination. However, they're really nothing more than just pieces of paper. I'd argue that they instead symbolize a journey over a decade in the making, a culmination of growing up, of learning from each other, of relying on the help and the support of others. Was graduation in the senior lot the outcome that any of us expected? No, of course not. But really, this moment is not wholly what mattered anyways. You see, what mattered instead was the times along the way that we spent with one another, which all led us to this very moment. And yet, our journeys are far from over. In fact, I'd argue that they've just begun. So whether you pursue college, the military, the workforce, or just about anything in between, it's not the what or the where that matters, but the who. Who will you learn from? Who will stand by your side? In my case, who's gonna laugh at my terrible jokes? Class of 2020, I hope that as you embark on a new journey of adulthood, you focus less on an unguaranteed future. I hope you relish the present, and I hope that you never stop learning from others, because the journey is where some of the best memories are made. I wish you all the best, and if you haven't heard it yet, congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you, Chloe. Good evening and welcome again. What a beautiful evening to celebrate this long-awaited and much-deserved graduation ceremony. Before I address all of you, the graduating class of 2020, I want to thank some very important people who have been instrumental in your success and getting each of you to this milestone. Let me start by expressing my sincerest gratitude to the dynamic group of professionals who make up the Northbridge High School staff. The last 4 months of the school year were hard on all of us. We each experienced a myriad of emotions as we faced and still face many uncertainties and loss. Educators were asked to re-envision their pedagogy and teach our kids to the best of their abilities with very little notice. I am proud of what we were able to do, and I'm excited for the things this group will accomplish in the coming school year. I know that our entire staff is not here tonight, but please join me in a round of applause for the NHS teachers. Thank you to our parents and to all of our families here tonight. I am a principal, but I'm also a dad to a senior in college and to an upcoming senior in high school. And I know all too well the COVID-19 frustrations of a caged 18-year-old who can't hang with their friends and who often wants to sleep until noon. This was frustrating for all of you, but at times just as frustrating for us. Parents, thank you for your patience with us, your support, but most importantly, your unwavering love and guidance for your children. This day is as much a celebration of your parenting as it is our student achievements. Thank you to all of you. And to the class of 2020, this is the day you all deserve. Thank you for your patience, grit, and your togetherness. We heard Ethan, Adam, and Chloe highlight some of the challenges we all endured and recognize some of the memorable personalities of our class. It is these aforementioned character traits that will help define who this class is. In school, as Ethan did tonight, we often talk about change, how positive change promotes growth. While this is true, what we don't always acknowledge or discuss is that with change comes loss. Loss in any form can be painful. You all faced many changes this year, and you dealt with resulting pain, hurt, and loss, yet persevered. Everybody wave to the hang glider. Yeah. That was our surprise for graduation this year. I admire all of you for your grit you displayed overcoming new obstacles, and you are now emerging stronger than ever. For each of you, there were goals, aspirations, or even dreams that you had for your senior year that were left unfulfilled. As I thought about all of you and the current state of our world, I was reminded of a poem that has resonated with me for many years. My favorite high school AP teacher, Ms. Karen Buchholz, introduced me to Langston Hughes. She often recited a poem that never seemed more poignant than the time we are living in now. It is titled "A Dream Deferred." What happens to a dream deferred? Does it dry up like a raisin in the sun? Or fester like a sore and then run? Does it stink like rotten meat? Or crust and sugar over like a syrupy sweet? Maybe it just sags like a heavy load. Or does it explode? Think about all the dreams that you have deferred. Think of all the dreams that you still have. Now think about the hunger you have to fulfill these dreams. A dream deferred is still a dream worth pursuing. Everyone here tonight is enthusiastically waiting for you to show us how you will make your dreams explode. Your entire graduating class is rich with stories of hard work, resilience, and accomplishments. Northbridge High School is a better school community for having each of you here, and I am deeply grateful, we are deeply grateful, for your contributions. As you reflect back on your growth and experiences here at Northbridge, and maybe your deferred dreams, my hope and our hope is that you will feel prepared to tackle many of the challenges and opportunities that inevitably lie ahead for each and every one of you. Celebrate this milestone, for it is among the biggest of your young adult lives, and you all worked very hard to get here. However you write the next chapter of your story, and wherever your path may lead, be proud to move forward with your high school diploma from Northbridge. I wish you all the best, and we will always welcome you back as proud alumni. So, without further ado, let me call upon Ms. Goodrich and Mr. Palucha to begin with the awarding of the diplomas.
The class marshal will now prepare the class of 2020 for the presentation of diplomas. Owen Daniel Hogan. On the X. Chloe Catherine Frabata. Ethan Hamilton Phillips. Adam Joseph Briand. Cody Aiden Batista. Megan Lee O'Mara. Colin Andrew Goslin.
It's for the vlog.
Haley Arden Bober. Isabel Fern Croto. Cassandra Lorraine Pryor. Haley Elizabeth Banis. Samantha Margaret Schrabis. Rianne Elizabeth Cooney. Noelle Elizabeth Haas. Kelly Jean Heffernan. Lauren Hope Johnson. Alessia Jade Kirachuk. Marissa Catherine McComiskey. Emily Shea O'Bannon. Sarah Margaret Pullman. Grace Lee Vera. Marcus Alexander Babi. Lauren Nicole Barrows. Thomas Carey Basilius. No. They know what they're doing. Emily Marie Bergeron. Jenna Lee Berkowitz. Madison Ray Bormeister. Megan Elizabeth Bormeister. Mariah Bolris. Savannah Marie Brooks. Madison Corey Burdick. Morgan Michelle Carroll. Ezra Coles. Sebastian Coria Marin.
That was horrible. It's your fourth time.
Nicholas Cuba. Francis John D'Agostino. Alan Francisco de la Rosa Arriaga. Fix your stove.
On my stove. The white thing.
My white man.
Nice job, Alan.
Emil Javier de la Rosa Arriaga.
Nice job, man.
Noah Dennis. Ella Lynn Definizio. Joseph Luca Dominich. Sawyer Milan Eagleson.
Thank you.
Aiden Lee Fair. Matthew Cole Frappier. Joshua Alec Fungafat. Cora Catherine Gauthier.
Don't rush him, you've got it. The rapid fire on Nice and easy.
Cassidy Elizabeth Guys. Matthew Anthony Giuliano. Tyler Francis Gagner.
Oh, I can do it now, huh? Jonathan James Gowan. Kimberly Sarah Grazoulis. Emma Louise Grilly. Tia Bella Haratunian. Ryan Wayne Harris. Jacob Edward Hashi. Tessa Grace Hatfield. Zachary Peter Hayes. Trevor Nathan Hoffman. Jen, pass my water. Emma Violet Holtz. Elizabeth Kate Hubbard. Marco Joseph Iarusi. Cody Richard Johnson. Colby Ryan Johnson. Riley Elise Keene. Isabella Denise Kerr. Megan Rose Kessler. Jabran Atta Khan. Eric Kinney. Mary Elizabeth Lacombe. Nicholas Joseph Levine. Dylan Luke Lewis. Luke Broderick McNeil. Jacob Enoch Malcasian. Caitlin Rose McHale. Sophia Marion. Shelby Lane Montville. Joseph Ryan Pajala. Michael John Paulus. Kevin Pierce.
I would have read it if it was.
Teo Michael Pizzarani. That wasn't bad. Zachary Pryor. Madison Taylor Reardon. Anastasia Robinson. Rafael Antonio Rodriguez. Tristan David Sansone. Addie Elizabeth Schofer. Lindsay Ann Sessa. Guillerme Sequeira. I butchered the last one. It's close. Just double check your diplomas before you leave, please. Whoever put those diplomas is in big trouble. So now where's Addie's?
Wait, I need my stuff for the picture.
Yeah, you're not taking the picture.
You just grab Addie's.
How does that happen? We almost made it, guys. So close. So why does he have two?
Congrats, kid. Sorry about that. Congratulations.
That whole row, I think, needs to double check your diplomas. Christopher John Sullivan. Hattie Kane Tossin. We hope. Phoenix Ray Taylor.
Watch out. Hold on. Take a picture.
Just on the X. Madison Rose Tugas.
Congrats, man.
Does everybody in that row have your diploma now? Yes? I mean, it's a legitimate question. Okay, good. Nailed it.
Word. Good.
Why can't we find? Maxwell Raymond Tugas. Caleb George Visbeck.
I actually asked him, I forgot to tell you.
I know. Congrats, Caleb, man.
Abby Rose Wallace. Christopher James Wells. Caitlin Ann West. Sarah Grace Wildfear.
You're not saying anything else, right? I'm saying the rest? Okay, I'm gonna stop. As he turns the tassel, I'm gonna say, now present, blah, blah, blah.
Congrats, Sam.
Ladies and gentlemen, the class marshal will now lead the class in the turning of the tassels. You're supposed to sit them and then stand them first, Owen, is what I meant to say. The class marshal will now lead the class in the turning of the tassels. I now present to you the 153rd graduating class of Northbridge High School.